Hello, welcome to SwitchedOn Gaming, Paul speaking, and what I'm going to do today is have a look at some new budget driving sims that have hit the eShop recently. Usually try and cover these and they're not usually very good, but stick around because one of these has actually surprised me a little bit and I was, well, blown away is putting it a bit too far, but considering my expectations were rock bottom, then it's certainly surpassed those. So stick around for that, but I'm going to showcase a few of them. We'll see how many we can get through. First up is Truck Simulator 2. Now this one comes from Pixel Mob and will set you back $8.99 and £8.09 at the moment. That's got a 10% discount on or 20% discount on at the moment. So this is a sequel, as you might imagine, as the 2 in the title, to the original Truck Simulator that I covered on the channel. This one is actually expanded, so it isn't actually as bad as the first one. I'll be honest, I kind of hated on the first one, especially my recent best truck games on the Switch video. If you've not seen that yet, check that out. I'll leave a link somewhere. But yeah, that one was very short, like, you know, literally missions that took seconds, and, you know, it wasn't particularly enthralling to do. This one seems to be expanded. It's kind of on a similar theme. Let's dive into a vehicle. This is the first vehicle that you get. Let's have a little drive of this. See if we can beat one of our times. So yeah, as I say, it's expanded in pretty much all ways. More vehicles, bigger areas, and sort of more interesting things to do. I don't think, from what I've played so far, and I've got up to some of the forklifts, that you can actually use any of the forklifts, which is a bit of a shame. But you've got things like this, like barriers that you now have to abide by. There's a lot more traffic, which is still as dumb as a box of nails, but there you go. They will just drive into you if you're not careful. You have to kind of be ultra careful to avoid them. Look at this absolute lunatic. He says driving on the wrong side of the road. Sorry, that's on me. So yeah, you drive around completing these missions. So they're kind of start off fairly basic. So you're following these green markers. I'm really sorry, my controller is so sensitive at the moment. I need to get a new one. Yeah, so drive around following these green markers, and it normally ends up with a parking challenge. You've got a time to beat in the top corner, and times give you different rewards. Just absolute lunacy. Get out of the way. I'm not going to beat my best time. Certainly not with this controller anyway. But this sort of thing as well, you sort of end up going into warehouses, and again, it's a shame that I don't think that you can do anything. There's like a forklift truck mission that we'll switch to in a second. So in and out of warehouses, and then you've still got the same sort of parking stuff there. Failed, crashed too many times. You've got like a damage meter, so let's go back to the garage. Pick a different vehicle. You can unlock these at any time as well. If you want to pay in-game currency, you can skip and get to these missions. I'm sure I've unlocked the forklift. I'm sure I was using the forklift. Maybe it was this one. So look at this one. So these are the missions. So there's the UI is not particularly great. You've kind of got these arrows to move around, but you've got these different missions for each vehicle, same as the first game. Let's try out one of these forklift ones. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's, you know, a reasonably budget price. I still don't think it's as cheap as it should be. Certainly not one that you should be rushing out. Okay, cool. So this one has got some sort of forklift mission in it. So, but this is all automatic. This has picked up the box for me, which is okay. I don't mind that. At least, again, it's something a little bit different to the first game. So we'll take the box in our ghost forklift that doesn't have a driver. Forklifts do not sound nice. That's the other thing as well. Some of the sounds in this game are way off. There's the second vehicle you unlock is an electric vehicle, and it sounds like it's got a pretty beefy petrol motor in it, so again, shame that the accuracy is not there for that. But I assume I'm just going to go and deliver this. But yeah, it's not too bad. As I say, it's certainly better than the first game, which I have certainly hated on in the past. Here's another new interactive element, these lifts. Just park up in here. Probably not in space enough for its liking. Try again. There we go. Lift will take you up to another floor. So that sort of thing's more expanded. You can see here we've come up and the floor is behind us. So we need to spin it around. But again, there is a little bit of replayability here with the fact that you've got to beat certain times to get more money and better medals to unlock more vehicles. So there is that. It does feel a little bit mobily, obviously. But it's not too bad. So that's Truck Simulator 2. Just as we park up here. And it's not going to deliver the cargo. Oh, we're not in the bay properly. There we go. It doesn't even deliver the cargo. So, silver medal for that. That's Truck Simulator 2. It's not too bad. Let's have a look at the next game. So next up, we have Racing Xtreme 2 from T-Ball Games. This will set you back $6.99, £5.99. And I had my suspicions about when I bought this one, and they were sadly realised this is basically one of those mobile games where all you do is drag race. It's quite a decent amount of content in it. You've got daily modes, you've got an online mode, or so it says. Well, it's a ranking race, but I don't think it's actually online. I think it's with bots. We're going to race anyway, just to show what this one's about. But yeah, this is pretty basic. Accelerating, you need to get your acceleration in the green zone at the start. We missed that. And then it kind of accelerates itself, and you press the accelerator when the bar is in the green zone. And when you land, and it gets progressively harder as you get faster, and you try and outdrag the opponent truck. It's quite smooth. Maybe something that could be good for younger players, maybe. Let's just quickly go back to the menus and show you some of the things. Got this truck dealer. Different sorts of trucks, but you can see from the graphics they're pretty basic. Polygon models. Not particularly nice textures or anything. Different classes of vehicles. As I say, there's plenty of content. It's just, you know, the quality of that content. You know, it's more quantity over quality. You can upgrade all the different parts of your truck to keep competitive. So it's kind of like a loop of winning races to earn money, to buy upgrades to enter better races, that kind of usual thing. Whack a new turbo on. Let's go into another race. Got these different locations as well to work through. Let's have a look at the ranking race. So I think this is kind of how you progress, actually. I think you just beat these trucks, and when you beat them all, you unlock the next set of races. So the better you land and take off, the faster you go. And you've got a bar at the top there that sort of shows you how far in front or behind you are of your opponent. But that's all there is to it, really. As I say, if you played these sort of games, they're 10 a penny on mobile. It's very basic. You know, I don't think it's worth the money that you're going to pay for it. So keep your eye on that. Don't let the sort of graphics fool you and screenshots fool you on the eShop. This is just a basic drag racing game. But you know, as I say, if you've got younger family members that love car racing, it's quite easy to control. So you know, you might get quite a lot of mileage, if you excuse the pun, out of it. You know, if youngsters love monster trucks and stuff, then you know that may be the route to go. But for me, too basic. Last game up for me is Driving School Sim, and this one raised a couple of red flags before I even bought it. Firstly, It's published by SC Overlex, and they made some of the worst simulators I've had the misfortune to play on the Switch, including Flight Sim, which is just absolutely awful. Again, check out the video. I'll try and leave a link to it in the description. And Truck Simulator USA as well, which isn't a particularly good game. So that was an immediate red flag, and, you know, crazy to even consider buying another one of their games. And considering the price as well, this was £13.49 in the UK, $14.99, so by no means a budget game. But with that said, I took the punt, and it's actually not that bad. And as I said, you know, it's not going to blow you away, but all things considered, for the price, for the people that have published it, and their track record, it's actually pretty enjoyable. I've had a good few hours with this, so have a look, see what you think. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this one. So, quite a nice front end here, quite like this. Looks a little bit mobily at the top, but the main sort of tile system here is quite nice actually. You've got this events coming soon, there's nothing in here yet. There is actually multiplayer as well. You can play free roam and racing in multiplayer, which is quite interesting. You can free ride around any of the locations. Do a race here, which isn't really a race, it's really odd. It's basically checkpoints. You're not racing against anyone, you're just trying to get through the checkpoints as quick as possible and ignoring all the laws of the road, because obviously, as the name suggests, driving school sim, this is kind of, you know, meant to be more of a serious driving game where you're sort of obeying the laws of the road. Now, it's got a lot of vehicles as well. I've managed to unlock this vehicle. I was quite surprised to see my actual car. This is the Dacia Duster. This is what I currently drive, and you can change the colour, so it's pretty much spot on. So that was quite nice. So I've been driving that around. So quickly flick through the vehicles. I mean, there's an absolute ton of them in all these different categories, so we'll just quickly flick through. None of them are obviously licensed, but they look very much like, you know, it's BMW there, some sort of Ford Focus. They look very much like their real life counterparts. So I think that's a Tesla, isn't it, with the lights on it? Some sort of Fiat there, another sort of Ford. So yeah, there's plenty of them. I won't go through every one of them. Sedan classes. SUV, sort of Range Rover there. So they're quite nicely modelled. They're not too bad at all. And as I say, you know, having owned the Duster, I can feel that that's a really decent representation of the Duster. And each car's got its own different internals as well, which is quite cool. And again, the Duster one, I don't think it's this year's model, but it certainly looks like the Duster inside. So, you know, it's kind of, you know, the steering wheel's almost accurate. The air vents and stuff are pretty accurate. So, yeah, quite impressive. So these are supercars. And as you can see at the bottom, you can unlock these for money. It's another red flag with this game as well. I must mention that quite early on, that this game does feature in-app purchases, as well as being fairly expensive. It does feature in-app purchases as well, which I found a little bit grating. But there's in-app purchases to unlock all sorts of things in the game. I'll show you that now. Let's go back to my little Duster. So you can see there, £2.69 will unlock speed limits in the town, in the cities. So you don't have to worry about that, which I think is an absolute pee take. But there's loads of others. I don't know if we can get up to the DLC stuff. So you can see here, you can buy packs of coins to unlock cars. You can actually unlock full classes of cars. And look at the prices, £79, £27, £36.44. It's absolutely disgusting. £90 to unlock the hypercars. I'd imagine, and don't quote me on this, but I would imagine that if you, just as the price is increasing, if you unlock, for example, hypercars, you're basically unlocking all the cars in the game, but absolutely disgusting prices. You know, as I say, you can earn the coins, unlock the stuff as you go along. But I hate to see that, as this isn't a free-to-play game. But that aside, I mean, I'm never gonna get involved in the in-app purchase stuff. I never do. I know a lot of people moan about it, but you know, for me, just ignore it. This isn't multiplayer, it isn't pay to win, so you know, you don't really have to worry about it. You can see there another in-app purchase, unlock all career levels, £7.19. You've got these different levels in each city that you have to play through with the goal of unlocking the exam. I've not unlocked an exam yet, but I played through quite a lot of the cities, just tried the first few missions in each. Let's have a look at this level 5 in Paris, and we'll have a look at some gameplay and see what this one's all about. As you see at the bottom there, don't forget to put your seatbelt on. As I say, this is kind of aiming to be more of a sim than anything else. We'll cycle through the views here. So we've got an external view, a couple of those. Internal view here. See, the graphics are pretty ropey really, but as I say, this is a fairly decent representation of the interior of a Duster, but I think it's the last, even though the outside is this year's model, I think the interior is an older model, because it certainly is a bit basic compared to what I've got, but all the things are in the right places. The sort of sat-nav screen, the reverse camera screen there is in the right place, the air vents look pretty accurate, the steering wheel is more or less accurate, so it's a fairly decent representation. I've also got bumper view, and then this sort of, you can't really see it, it's not the best time to show it off, but it's sort of a cinematic view as you go about your daily work. So first thing you need to do, down on the D-pad, we'll put your seatbelt on, and you get some XP for that. Stick it in reverse gear, and you can see the camera changes to a reversing parking camera, which is really cool. You've also got this reversing sensor by tapping right on the D-pad, and you can see the indicators have come up on the screen now, and they will start to flash and fill up as you get close to things behind you. You've also got indicators on the left and right bumper buttons, so we need to indicate and start reversing out. That's the parking sensors going off. So again, this is kind of a little bit like Truck Simulator. This is kind of a mission-based game. Let's indicate the right way. So you're aiming to drive as sort of sensibly as you can. So sticking within the speed limits, using your indicators, obeying traffic laws, not crashing, and you get more XP the more good stuff that you do. So parking up here, handbrake on. Indicating right, there appears to be some kind of hold up. There we go. So you're following your sat-nav basically to the end goal, which is usually a park somewhere, either a basic park, going over the speed limit, either kind of a basic park or a reverse park, or some of them are in sort of multi-story car parks. Obviously don't want to hit anything. Oh, should have indicated there. Bad driving. Should have indicated to go round a parked vehicle. Oh, I think there's a stop sign I just ran there as well. Possibly. Yeah. So roundabout. Indicating to go round. Oh! Oh, lorry's just pulled out in front of us. Awesome. Let's try from some different camera views. But as you can say, one of the most impressive things I like about this is how smooth it is. You know, it's got a really good frame rate. No, we don't want to go that way. I'm trying to get back to a chase cam. I think it's because I moved the camera on the chase cam. There we go. Let's get going. Yeah, it's really smooth. Really nice frame rate. Obviously, the graphics aren't the best. You can also change the traffic density as well. So at the moment this is on medium. Oh, ghost bike! Avoided accident. I did watch for the bike. Bicyclist. Yeah, so the graphics aren't the best. Certainly the textures aren't particularly great. But smooth frame rate will do me in these sort of budget games. Draw distance is pretty good. As I say, it's kind of a fun game. It does feel like when you're sort of obeying the traffic laws, using your turn signals and stuff like that, it does kind of feel like Euro Truck Sim in some ways. So you can see the speed limit down on the dashboard, 45. See if we can get to a parking mission. But yeah, this was the game that kind of surprised me in some ways, considering what I was expecting. So I would say again, it's overpriced at £13.49, $14.99. You know, you're not going to be wanting paying that. But if you like the look of this one, and there is plenty to do, there's loads of content. You've got those events coming soon, whatever they may be. There is multiplayer here as well. So there is content here, but I still think it's too expensive. So maybe if you like the look of it, stick it on your wish list and check it out when it's a bit cheaper. Or if you think it looks trash, that's absolutely fine. Let me know below. And no more will be said. Oh, crunch. So the less misdemeanors that you have on your journey as well. We're going well over the speed limit now, which is 30. You can see that down the bottom. There is cruise control as well. Sorry to jump over the place there. So, you know, if you're on a longer journey, you can set your cruise control at a certain speed. Let's just see if we can finish this one off. But yeah, as I say, the racing mode is literally just these same sort of towns, but with checkpoints to get to. And it's just seeing how quickly you can complete them, really. You're not racing against anybody. I think in the multiplayer game you do actually race people, which I can only imagine would be carnage. But there's been nobody about to try it with. There's also some other little things as well. There's some emergency vehicles that you will hear coming, and you'll have to you know, ensure again you abide by traffic rules and dodge them, or, you know, let them pass. Whee! Yeah, steady on, fella, that wasn't my fault. See the green check mark up ahead, so we nearly finished this one. Let's just try and get to finishing point. Oh, unfortunately, was trying to change lanes there, and then there was a traffic to avoid, so I got done for wrong indicator usage. But there is different biomes as well. Actually, as we're near the end, let's just very quickly just jump back and check out one of the other biomes. Actually, as well, I'm going to switch cars. This kind of BMW type car. Let's go around Moscow. There is different weather as well. We've got randomised weather night time. Let's try Moscow at night. Show you how that looks quickly. I don't think the sort of snow affects your traction at all. Not that I noticed in the first mission. But it just looks nice. It's something a little bit different. Again, look at the interior here. Slightly different interior. Different steering wheel, different layout inside. So that's really nice as well. So seatbelt on. Indicate. Oh, forgot to turn on the headlights, which is on the A button. No real good lighting effects there. We should be seeing the indicators flashing against the hedges there. So again, lighting not really top notch. Well over the speed limit, but just to really give you a different idea of the different biomes, this one looks quite nice. So I don't know, let me know what you think. As I say, I hope you've enjoyed this little showcase of some recent budget driving games on the Nintendo Switch. You know, these tend to pop up far too often on the Switch, but there you go. It's become a haven for some really trashy games, but hopefully videos like this can help you make a better decision rather than wasting your money. So let me know what you think. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe if you're new, like the video, leave me a comment below, all of that good stuff. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.